Okay, so today, Germany versus Curaçao. As a reminder, Curaçao is the smallest team to ever qualify for the World Cup. Sorry, smallest, not shortest. Smallest meaning the smallest country. They have a population of 158,000 people, and they had 17 minutes of glory. 17 minutes where it was
Yeah.
1-1 against Germany, and then they ultimately lost the game 7-1. Bets, let's start with you. What's your biggest takeaway from Germany versus Curaçao?
Yeah, I was proud of Curacao in the first half. I think the whole game, I thought they really showed a lot of heart. They showed like they were ecstatic to be there, and proud. So I thought Germany was going to maybe drop 10 goals in that game, and I'm not even kidding.
They
They
could have.
Yeah.
They absolutely could have.
Sane could have scored 10,
100%.
but he's not good anymore. So.
really, I don't want to hint on Sane right now, but I didn't think he was that great today at all. But I,
Bets,
yeah,
feel free to hate, bro. This is listen.
yeah. I
Please.
mean,
Give your honest and
Please.
give your analysis to America. What did you hate about Sane's performance today? Be real.
you'll hear it in a segment later, but I
Oh,
think
okay.
little hint. He didn't do it well today. Let's just put it that
Put
way.
it that way.
He had the opportunity with the injury. With some injuries, he got the start. He's going to get good minutes this World Cup, and I just thought he looked lackadaisical. I felt he looked lazy. He didn't really want to be out there. Wasn't proud. Uh, Definitely wasn't using his skill as he's used in the past. I thought he could have went at these defenders way better and more. Uh, yeah, just he wasn't good today
He wasn't
at
great.
all.
Yeah, he wasn't great. What was your reaction to the game, Foss?
I would agree that I think Sane was the worst player on
Was
the
the
field
worst
for
player?
both teams. He was the worst player on the field. I've one. I think my biggest takeaway though, look, like Germany scoring 7 against Curacao is good for you.
Yeah.
On to the next one. It's
Yeah.
not going to help you later
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
tournament at all. Mecha, who is a Dortmund midfielder, number 23, big, strong guy. I think he's going to be a star this World Cup. I think like Musiala looks good as well, which is great for Germany because we talked about it. Like Musiala's got to perform if Germany's going to perform.
Yeah.
I think Mecha is going to be really good. I think he's going to be a breakout star this World Cup.
He looked really
He
good.
scored the opening goal, and oh man, it's tough to play against guys that have that type of like physicality and that type of feet. I thought he was really
How big
good.
is he? Is he like 6'3"?
He's about my height. Yeah.
Yeah, 16. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Uh,
also feel like we were not going in on Germany enough. Yes, at the end of it, they opened them up and it got to a 7-1 deficit to Curacao. This is a nation of 150,000 people. That is like my town that I'm in right now and the town over. That went to play like a founding father of the game. They should, the result, yeah, 7-1, but it should have felt way uh, yeah, I was not impressed with how
Yeah.
Germany came out at all. I thought they were very flat.
Can I just say how magical it was for those 17 minutes for Curaçao? The
yeah.
Curaçao, the smallest country to ever play in a World Cup, to tie up one of the founding fathers of soccer, Germany, for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
17 precious minutes.
Bro,
And then
true.
just get pummeled for the
true.
Also,
Yeah. No, I love that you said that because you're sitting there and you're like, what's the one thing like you want what should happen to happen in the game, which was Germany to have a good performance, show that they're going to be, a real threat this World Cup. But then the one thing that I really wanted was for Curacao to just at least get one goal and to get that magic of tying it up against Germany was special. So I'm happy that that nation and the supporters that came to the game were able to live that because I'm sure it was truly magical. I also thought that Chong, who I know went through the Man United system, he had the puffy hair that was like blonde. I thought he was really good. He impressed me a bunch, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a couple contracts coming his way
is
at the end of
he
the summer. He was
Curacao on
on
the
Curacao.
Curaçao?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on Curacao. Yeah, he was like their biggest threat.
I
Um,
I thought they looked better than Haiti.
Yeah.
I thought they looked better than Scotland.
Yeah.
I thought they looked, and I know it's so crazy to say that that was like the best 7-1 loss of all time, but there were for a third of the game, they played Germany really tough. And I think Germany's a pretty not a pretty, they're very talented side.
Yeah, totally.
A very
Totally.
talented side. And I do have a little bit of beef with Germany
Okay.
because of this game, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my
man,
guy,
look at
John.
those locks.
I
Those
know, man.
luscious locks. Oh
I
my
know.
That
gosh.
is awesome. That is
That's
awesome.
probably why he was performing so well, as people were
Yeah.
trying to take the ball off him, and they were just distracted by the hair.
He,
I mean, that's
he was energetic in there. He was fun to watch. I felt
he
like,
didn't score though. He didn't score. The guy that scored was
no,
the guy up top, right?
yeah,
Number
no, he
9, I
did
think.
not score. But I
Yeah.
thought he was like doing a really good job of getting into some tackles, and I felt like Curaçao did an amazing job of just like sticking their leg in and getting into some 1v1 battles and winning those tackles, which is super hard to do.
Yeah. So I have 2 big points on the Germany versus Curaçao game. The first point is that we had said Musiala was going to be a key player for this German team if
Mhm.
they were going to go far. And I still believe that. But I did think that you saw a little bit of the rust with Musiala in the game. Like, he was great. He scored. It looked dynamic in some spots, but also, and I had it on my notepad. He had a few pretty bad turnovers. Not bad turnovers in the sense that like Curaçao went the other way and scored, but like you're in the final third and the play breaks down because you have a bad touch or a bad pass,
Yeah.
and he was the first guy they took off, which isn't like we think you're a bad player. I think it's that they know he's still getting sharp.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got his 60 minutes in. I'm glad he scored. I'm glad he was able to build a little bit of momentum, but he's still a guy that I think has more to his game.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching Germany, if you're a Germany fan, like just keep your eye on Musiala. He's going to be a guy that gets better and better and better as the tournament goes on, because he's just going to get sharper. The guy is coming off a 7-month injury. His leg was broke. His leg was in 2 pieces. Like it's tough to come back after that. And I thought he looked decent. There's still some rust coming off. The second point I have is that I'm really disappointed in the German manager, because there's just no reason to keep your front 3 in there the whole game so that you run up the score. That's what he's doing. That is the definition of stat padding. You don't leave, like, you guys know this. We all know this. Like, the first guys that usually get subbed are your strikers or your attackers, maybe a midfielder. Instead of like swapping their strikers, they took out their back line and just left Havertz, Wirtz, and Sané in, who it felt to me like it was just so that Havertz could get the 7th goal and like be in the lead for the goal. Like, I just didn't. To me, I was watching that game and I'm like, why is the German manager doing this? The only thing I can come up with is that they feel so embarrassed from last World Cup that they didn't make it out of the group stage, that for them there is nothing but we got to just step on everyone's throat. We got to put pedal to the metal. We have to overcompensate. So that was the only. I didn't love it.
So I get where you're coming from.
Because Curaçao's the little guy on the playground.
Yeah,
like, there's
I know.
no.
It's not. Yeah.
You know, like,
I think there's like 2 explanations that are. I think these are the 2 explanations. The first is that goal difference might matter.
Yeah.
Because you got Ecuador and Ivory Coast, and like it might matter. It might be the difference between getting first and second, and so you want to stop that. The other thing is Sané was so bad, he might have been hoping Sané got injured. Just keep playing him, and like someone. That's the only other thing that could be happening.
Yeah, I do agree.
I think
that is a great thing. I think
I actually to break the fourth wall here. I was watching the game with my buddy Luca. Luca grew up in Germany, came through like the Dortmund youth system, and I was watching it with him, and he goes, I hope they don't take Sané out. And I go, he's playing so bad though. And he goes, I hope he dies on the field.
He didn't look good, but that's it is mind-boggling to me. Like, he didn't look good. You guys are already up. Like, I don't know. It was baffling. It was baffling to me.
Hold on. If I could play devil's advocate for a second,
Please do.
A couple of things. The point differential, I think, could matter. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but from my understanding, if you don't win the group, it can matter to get in somehow, some way. Anyway, somebody can correct me on that. But 2, like if the U.S. is playing and they're up 3-1, like they were 4-1, as a fan, I want to see as many goals as we can possibly get. I'm like, I waited 4 years for this. It's on. I mean, I know it's not in Germany, but like for the U.S., it's in home soil. rack it
Yeah,
up. Like, let's
that's
go.
a fair point.
And
That's a fair
and
point.
keep and maybe keep your players loose. Like, you guys know soccer better than me, but like 7 days off between games, can some rust develop? Maybe. If you want to keep them loose, keep them in a rhythm, keep them playing with their stars to get ready for a
I think
bigger
that's
game.
fair. I think that's fair.
I
do
could be wrong,
agree.
but I don't mind the goals as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
I
think
think that's fair.
that is it. I think it is the
I just
goal
got a soft
differential.
spot. I got a soft spot for Curaçao, and
I
I
know.
think is it the long-eared bat that's the national? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Curaçao has the most amount of ostrich farms. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long-eared bat is Cape Verde.
One
I
of
think.
one of the
Verde.
largest ostrich farms on
Yeah,
this
no,
side of the world.
Hold on.
You kind of
They only got 160,000 people. So you got to nitpick.
Looks like it's the biggest ostrich farm in like
in Curaçao.
Yeah, in Curaçao, in the capital.
one of the biggest- it's one of the biggest in Curaçao.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Bets, I interrupted you, but all I was trying to say was I have a soft spot for Curaçao, so maybe that's why the Germans were
No,
rubbing me
not
the
at
wrong way.
all.
So with this group, the goal differential will be especially important because they're in a group with the Ivory Coast and Ecuador, and the Ivory Coast has beaten Ecuador already tonight, and Germany could easily drop against Ecuador, and it ends up in a 2-1 tie for first at the top. And so at that point, it's all goal differential, the difference between first and third.
Yeah.
I find your arguments compelling, and so I guess the only thing I have to say is I'm rooting for you, Curaçao. Give me another goal. That magic. Did you feel it? I felt it.
Yeah,
I felt
man.
it all the way
It's
in
hard not to.
Virginia.